Hey there, I hope you're doing so well. My name is David Leslie and we're looking at how to be happy, and this is week number 3. So a few years ago I had an amazing but kind of semi-disturbing experience. My brother got married in Bali, and so my wife and I flew over to join him there, It was amazing because we got to be with friends and family in Bali. Bali's an incredibly beautiful country. We got to surf our brains out. But it was disturbing because of the amount of people on most of the beaches shooting content for popular Instagram, YouTube and TikTok feeds. Being in the film and production industry, I obviously interacted with a number of them, and what was incredible was how world-class the images were that the guys were creating. But what I did find really hard was the level of curation in their setups. The one that stands out to me, which illustrates what we're going to be talking about today, is the one evening I was sitting on the beach, the sun was setting, it was beautiful, kind of gorgeous Bali evening, and down those steep stairs came this young girl. She was beautiful but looked incredibly sad, either homesick or just something deeply, deeply wrong. She was immersed in her phone, arrived on the beach, kind of took off what looked almost like a pajamas. It was like an old sweat top, went into the sea, did the photo shoot with her friends, and while she was doing that, transformed instantly into something light and radiant and stunning. As soon as the light faded and the sun had set, she came back on, put back what looked to be her pajamas, sat down on a stone with their phone for about 15-20 minutes, and then walked up the stairs. And as I watched that experience unfold, a huge part of me grieved for her, grieved that she was sad. I'm making an assumption there she was sad, but I think it was fairly obvious, And then there was a huge part of me that grieved for the people at home. I'm talking London and Japan and around the world, who would have seen that Instagram pop up on their feed. This stunning, young, beautiful woman on the best holiday of their life, having the best time, and they might have started asking themselves questions, like, damn, my life is boring. Damn, I wish I could be like that girl. Man, I wish my life was fun. Wow, I want to date someone like that. Jeepers, I need to be more adventurous. And that those voices of comparison that we know so well would have raged in their head. So we're asking ourselves a question around, how do we be happy? And we're looking to a deeper magic in the world around us to say, what are those things we really can expect? We're questioning whether we can expect what our phones have taught us, that life is easy. Life happens, things happen really, really quickly, and we're in control the whole time. We're questioning that now, because if we believe that and it doesn't happen, we know that we're going to be incredibly sad. And one of the things that has happened, and we're so aware of this around the world, and you're aware of this in your own life, is that it's so easy to curate who we are on our online interactions. And so today we're challenging the idea that we're in control. And we're challenging the idea that what we see online is what we can expect. And I think if we had to look to nature, and this is mildly embarrassing, but hopefully helpful, we had to look to nature and go, like, what can we expect of nature? What is the highest point of ecstasy in nature? A fairly great place to start would be sex. For most of us, sex is almost one of the pinnacles of happiness in the very short term. Certainly a pinnacle of human ecstasy. And a lot of the interactions and the way online communicate sex is like what we see online. It's perfectly curated. It's flawless. It's without fault. It's mess-free. It's not clumsy. And yet, if you research online, is sex messy? Is sex clumsy? I think you'll be surprised by the answer. Obviously, you want to avoid the pictures. But as someone who's been married for a number of years, I can tell you sex is unbelievable. As close to happiness as most humans are going to find, as close to connection and relationships and bonding as most people are going to find. But I can tell you that it's definitely not perfectly curated. I can tell you that it's not without clumsiness. I can tell you that it's not without mess. Sex and risk go hand in hand. Sex and failure go hand in hand. Sex and imperfection go hand in hand, you know. And I suppose the easiest way to see this, you know, is to look around at animals mating. You know, and I know that's a fairly graphic and visual thing, but it's kind of funny. I hope you're laughing. Imagine a giraffe mating, imagine an elephant mating, imagine a tortoise mating. You know, those moments are hysterical. You know, what we see with birds and their mating dances and how clumsy and silly they look, you know. And yet those interactions, those risky, imperfect, clumsy, vulnerable interactions, full of mess and chaos, those interactions are the very center and foundation of life. That's where we all come from. And so can we expect our lives to be perfectly curated like we saw with that girl on the beach? Was a more healthy expectation that, yeah, our life's going to be ecstatic, yeah, our life's going to be amazing, that there's going to be huge highs, but that some mess and imperfection and clumsiness is going to come along for the ride. Which of those two expectations is going to serve us best in the long run? Thanks so much for listening. Looking forward to seeing you next week.